Nurture the boy and the man will appear. Let me start by saying that this chapter is not a criticism of women. It's simply an alternative that may serve them better when it comes to making them feel safe in intimate relationships. In recent years, there has become a culture of blaming and bashing men whenever the topic of domestic violence arises. This rhetoric comes from the media as they stir up anger and hate, but unfortunately some women are lapping it up, despite most knowing better. While men are partly to blame for this heightened focus on domestic violence, the answer to solving this problem is not to put men down and thereby putting even more pressure on them, but rather the opposite. Anyone who has attended Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny seminar will attest to just how powerful his relationship day on day 6 of the event is. Throughout the day, Tony educates both men and women on what they can do better when relating to their partner. But for the sake of this story, let's stick to one side of the equation. The most powerful part of the experience was when Tony addressed the men in the room, which led to a raw and spontaneous outpouring of the purest protective masculine energy I've ever seen. As Tony stood on stage in front of 500 men, roughly half the attendees, all Tony yelled was one word. That word inspired a raw, masculine, one-word reply that nearly lifted the roof off the room. Several more times, Tony shouted, to which the men yelled back. During this outpouring of emotion, every single male in the room was completely centered and in their absolute masculine state, where men must be for a relationship to thrive. While both men and women may occasionally be in their opposite energy, e.g. men in their feminine energy and women in their masculine, for a male-female intimate relationship to thrive long-term, men must predominantly be in their masculine energy and women in their feminine. When Tony went around the room asking various women how they felt after witnessing the masculine response to Tony's war cry, each woman emotionally stated that she felt safe, protected, and like every man in the room would die for her. Just to backtrack a little, Tony began this segment of the day by showing William Wallace's freedom speech from the movie Braveheart, before explaining to women that it is a man's natural instinct to be free. He explained that if a woman makes a man feel controlled, criticised, or closed, the man will shut down or want to escape the relationship either emotionally or physically. Tony explained that when a woman allows her partner to be free, it is his natural instinct to honour that and protect her. While it may seem contradictory, it is only when a man feels totally free that he willingly gives himself to his partner. Now when he does this, you had better believe that this man will do anything to protect her, including die for her. This all stems back to a man's relationship with his mother. The love a mother gives is a love like no other, for it is through the mother's nurturing of the boy that the man eventually appears. Even when a male grows into a fully formed man, inside him remains that boy, whose love for the women around him is unflinching. To get to the point of this chapter, Tony believes, and I wholeheartedly agree, that if a woman wants to get the best out of her man, she must nurture the boy inside him. I'm not suggesting she treats him like a kid, but rather that she remembers that no matter how strong, tough, or seemingly unbreakable he is, that little boy will always be there wanting to protect and honour the women in his life. Women have an incredibly nurturing nature that men lack, and it's this gift that women possess that is essential for a male-female relationship to thrive. By lifting him up rather than putting him down, the man will emerge and his natural masculine essence to honour and protect will surface. In a time when the world needs men to stand up to reduce domestic violence, my advice to women is this: instead of trying to suppress men by putting them down, why not try lifting them up and watch how they stand up and become better men that will protect and serve you the way God intended? Put simply, nurture the boy and the man will appear.